Welcome to KIllco. My name is Brian. And as with most streamers, you go into a stream hoping everything works. Let's hope everything's working. I kind of wish they had something to at least show the microphone. Like I could actually see the microphone picking things up. That would be so much better. I have my sample ready because it's sample Sunday for the moment. At least this Sunday, because that's what I decided to do. And I couldn't think of anything else. Apparently, when you do a stream, you have to have an actual reason for doing the stream. I have yet to figure out exactly how to do that, other than the ridiculousness of having a drink, because tomorrow's Monday. That's bad for some people. Wandar, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I am fighting with this sample because the top of it is covered in plastic. But this is Early Times Bottled and Bond. John McElwain, welcome. Welcome. Always love to see some people here. It's always kind of a crapshoot with these. But I know a lot of us are just waiting to do other streams later on. I think there are a couple streams going on tonight. I know It's Bourbon Night goes on Sunday, and I think Destination Bourbon goes on after them. I can't keep track anymore, I'll be honest. There's basically a whiskey tuber streamer every day of every week, every week of every day, every evening at least. And I've picked my two slots to be Friday at 6 and Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because JJ, welcome. I'm just going into this with a sample Sunday. I feel like I'm breaking the rules because I'm going to just assume this is bourbon. Just says Early Times Bottled and Bond. And by the look of it, it looks like bourbon. I do no research, as always, until I'm actually looking at it. But I'm putting it in an aquavita glass, which is scotch. So it might explode. Let's get on with the pour. I hope all of you are having a pour along with me. If not, well, you don't have to. But if you are having a pour of something, clue me in on what it is. Well, I'm curious. As always, we all like to have a drink, whatever that might be. Could be anything. Could be orange juice, whatever you want. It's the joy of the whole thing. That's a lovely pour of whiskey. I think I like the smell. I only got a hint of it. Haven't gone into any straight up nosing. I'm about to. We have made it to the start of another week, so that's good. I had the usual difficult times. I think I call them difficult times with the mornings and the sleepings. It's been lovely. I haven't even been able to watch too many streams now I think about it. I think I saw some of... Who did I watch last? I don't even remember. The last person I watched was probably Hot Butter Rolls, maybe? Or Shayla? Whiskey Central? Or both? I don't remember. That was yesterday. That could have been an eternity ago. Plus, I've been getting distracted with other things in my apartment, sort of. Not really. The joys of finding some of your old writings from like high school era and glancing at them and going, oh no, I don't want to read these. They're not great. It's a bunch of stuff my mother gave me in a box, and I just kind of peeked at it. Some of it was actually from stuff I did at graphic design school. I don't know what it is, just pretty much paperwork by the look of it. But whatever. Oh, nice. Sounds lovely. I had a little bit of Wild Turkey 101 earlier this afternoon, just because I felt like it, and because I have a whole bottle of it still. Well, I mean, for one person, I put a dent in this thing pretty quickly, although I did buy this probably 3 weeks ago, maybe more. It's still about half full. That's obviously my go-to, clearly. Yes. Heavy on the turkey, light on the old fashioned. Old fashions are kind of a fancy whiskey, and that's it. That's what they are to me. That's why I like them. It's just whiskey with a little bit of extra, a little sugar, and then some bitters, and then those cherries, which are amazing. That's pretty much it. Oh, I did have a drink earlier for lunch too, but I don't think that counted. It kind of did. I hope it had espresso in it. It was some kind of espresso frappuccino thing. It was basically like an adult milkshake. It was wonderful. I needed it to start the day, sort of. I had lunch, let's be honest. I didn't just decide the first thing I'm going to do is have a drink. Yeah, don't go too crazy. Tomorrow is the day. It's the Monday. Iced tea, like that. I've seen them in the fact that I've seen stuff on the Instagram and the Twitter and those kind of places. I haven't paid much attention to it because it's just, in my mind, it's a redesign. It's like graphic design stuff. They're trying to tweak it. I think they added red. If my understanding is correctly, it's got red on it now. Eye-catching and such. But I haven't officially looked at it in person. But I do have my old bottle of Wild Turkey still. I'm trying to think how many drinks I want to have tonight. I haven't decided, other than this early times, which, let's see what it smells like. Ooh. Well, it smells like bourbon, as they say. I think I smell a barrel char on this. I know this is bottle and bond, which is fancy terminology and has government meanings. Something about 4 years, I think, under the same master distiller or something. I'll remember it someday. There are rules. Also, I have a song stuck in my head. That's kind of driving me crazy. I tried to get it out before the stream. It did not work. It's the New Year's Eve song. What are you doing New Year's Eve? It's been stuck in there for a few days now, but it kind of fades in and out. This is nice. It smells very bourbony. Everything you expect. Sweet woods. Sweet oak. I think I smell some char on this one, which is not normal. I kind of dig it. I've noticed the scary thing about doing your own editing for videos is you start to notice you have your own catchphrases that you weren't aware of. And mine, apparently one of them is, I dig it, which I didn't know until I started editing videos and smelling whiskey. And every time I'm like, I dig it. I don't know why. It's disturbing. It's fine. This is lovely, by the way. This is all my stream is going to be. I'm just going to do this the whole time. I don't think that's very entertaining. But some people like to do 4 of these at once. And although I liked that idea, I'm also going to be watching other streams tonight, so I don't want to overdo it. I did have a hard time picking out what I was going to do. And since I knew absolutely nothing about this early times bottle and bond other than the name and that it's a bourbon, I thought it would be good to start with. I might have another. I'm undecided. I still have that song stuck in my head. Yeah, brown sugar, sweet. I don't know if it's caramel or probably vanilla. Kinda, yeah. I think I just like bottle and bond. I like bourbons. What are you gonna do? Good old Buffalo Trace, the standard. I should say I don't know if I'm actually tired. I don't know what's going on with me today, but I have that weird feeling in the front of my head here that just feels like there's a bunch of rocks in there and I just kind of want to lie down. Sucks. I don't know why I've started doing that. I've noticed there's a certain nosing difference that people do. I've started to get used to just putting it right on my mustache. Woo! You can smell the alcohol if you do that, though. Smells good. I think I'm getting some citrus. I really just want to drink this. Let's get to that, shall we? Cheers to you all. Oh. Whoa. That was not what I expected. Ah. Prickly. Prickly and oak forward. Oh, it burns. Oh, it burns. Well. Hello, early times. You were not what I expected you were going to be. It smelled kind of sweet. It smelled like a typical sweet bourbon on the nose, and then took a sip. It's like, hi, welcome to Oaksville. Enjoy. Kind of dried out my tongue instantly, almost. That was fun. Unexpected, to say the least. Oh, yeah. I'm going to look at the Whizzky app, because I can. See what else it tells me. Oh, good. Every time I look at this, I'm like, maybe it's going to tell me something new. I'm like, no. It's going to tell you exactly what you thought. Nose profile, vanilla, brown sugar, caramel. Standard bourbon right there. Flavor, I would disagree. I wanted to say chocolate on the nose, but I didn't. Why can people not say oak on this thing? For the flavor thing, it says vanilla, brown sugar, milk chocolate, and caramel. I did not get that. And the finish is where it says pepper, caramel, vanilla, sweet, and spicy. I definitely say spicy. Good grief. What do we need to know about it? It's from Kentucky. I know that, at least, for bourbons. ABV is 50%, so it's 100 proof. Kentucky straight bourbon, bottled in bond. No age statement. Good to know. And then we have a little blurb. Early Times bottled in bond bourbon is made from the same original recipe. Oh, it's going to tell me. Using pure water and mash bill composed 79% corn, 11% rye, and 10% malted barley. Proprietary yeast strain. I didn't think anyone actually used the word proprietary for stuff, but I guess they do. I wonder what it is. That's an obscure kind of thing to have proprietary. Our yeast is proprietary. Enjoy. Oh, I have to remember the thing. Just in case. I have to change what it says, too. Yeah. Type. There we go. Ticker. That's what that is. This is a very weird time of year because it just started. The year just started. Everyone's getting used to it. We're still recovering from last year. We're all suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder from just living through 2020, I think. And it's not quite over. Things are still bonkers. There's all the more reasons to have a drink. Enjoy your foods, Bondo. I'll be here. I'm going until 8, I think, just before 8. I'm pretty sure that's when it's bourbon night starts. I always lose track. The songs that be stuck in my head all night. What are you doing? I should eat too. That's one of the things I didn't do before I went on. When I hit the button. I didn't think about food. I do have food. If anyone wants to know, there's a burger place nearby that decided to make their burger with macaroni and cheese and chili on top of it. And that's their burger with fries. It is delicious. Probably not the best thing for me to eat, but it's pretty much the only thing I've eaten today, so I'm not too worried about it. I'll eat some of that later, probably when it's bourbon night comes on. Song's gonna be stuck in my head all night. This is strange. It's not bad, but with a lot of bourbons I get, it's supposed to be kind of sweet at first, and this is not doing that. It's coming with the wood notes first. So surprising. I like it still, but definitely not what I expected. I don't know. I want to know more about early times. We want to know more about early times. That's the thing of the evening for the moment. Other than what it just told me. And as always with my channel, it's I don't know anything. I'm not going to pretend I do. Knowledge is a funny thing. It's basically, can you remember? What can you remember? And can you spew it out to others in a positive way, or at least correctly? I kind of can. Not really. As I've said on many streams, on many videos, I have a hard time remembering things, and I hate to be mistaken with things I'm saying. I don't want to give misinformation. We have enough of that in this day and age to last until the end of time, I think. This song's going to be stuck in my head all night. It's driving me crazy. What is Bottle and Bond Day? That's coming up soon, isn't it? I feel like it is. Mason Busey, hello. Oh my god. I gained weight just reading that. Peanut butter bacon bits, jalapeno relish, and cheddar cheese. That sounds like a sensory experience just eating that burger. Sticky fingers, huh? The place I know, the place I was talking about is called Locals, Localz, and they are fond of their burgers. Some of the stuff they have is pretty, like the one I'm talking about is their kind of signature burger, and it's ridiculously good. I try not to get it very often, but it is tasty. And that I also got the, I think it's called a boozy espresso frappuccino. So that's what I got to treat myself on a Sunday. And it pretty much had, I think it had vodka and Kahlua and some kind of espresso stuff in it. It better have had caffeine in it. If it didn't have caffeine, I'm going to have a headache soon. It's another thing I thought about doing was making coffee. I haven't had any actual coffee today. I've had that espresso thing, and I'm hoping that's actually got caffeine in it. Julio, welcome. Welcome. We are trying something called, oh gosh, the cap wasn't on. Early times. At the moment. I have no idea what I'm going to try next. We're talking about burgers, because I had a burger for lunch, and it was amazing. I'm not done with it. I only ate about probably less than half of it. And this is one of those places that decides, here are your fries, and half the whole thing is fries, and they're delicious. But also, it's not helping me lose any weight right now. Not that I'm trying very hard, let's be honest. Ugh. That's good. It doesn't help that I have a bunch of candy, by the way. I'm going to blow up my palate early here. God damn. Chair is weird. I have not gotten used to this chair yet, for the record. Oh, is Dan doing things? Oh my gosh. I actually feel weird having not done a video in a minute here. I don't think I've done a video since, I haven't done one since last year, technically. That's a horrible joke. But I guess I did the last one on the 24th. So it's been a number of days where I haven't had to do a video. I could have done one, I think, but I was just exhausted from making videos 24 days in a row. Next year, I don't know if I'm going to do that. That's exhausting. And especially, it depends on my energy levels, let's be honest. And if I actually had a whiskey calendar, because the only reason I was able to do a whiskey calendar thing at all this year was due to the graciousness of Stanley Wagner Jr., who sent pretty much all the samples I reviewed. And a lot of them I didn't have before. I think there was one. There's one scotch I tried before, and I still have a bottle of it. So who knows? Again, the emphasis of ifs. I live in that world of like people who do this for their YouTube thing. It's like a side gig, something they enjoy doing and doing on YouTube, and they have like normal day jobs and actually make money. That's not how it is here for me. I basically just exist. But I will say I got the stimulus check in my account on the 1st. So that was nice. $600 in my bank account that I wasn't really expecting. And that's why I think I said last Friday. I don't remember what I did. I don't even remember why I did that. I think I must have. I posted and talked about having a steak for lunch and having an absolutely massive pour of Owen 14. That took a second. I'll try and show this on the screen, but every time I see people try to do this, it doesn't look good. Trying to show your camera pictures on the camera here. It's real weird. But I need people to understand the absolute ridiculousness of this pour that I got. I'm fairly certain the person who poured it didn't do bartending. Because if they did, they would have known they made a big mistake. Kind of. All right, so let's see if I can do this. That's not too bad. If you can tell, that is a beer glass full of water, 12 ounce, 16 ounce, whatever that thing is. And next to it, that almost completely full glass, which looks like a rocks glass of some sort. That's almost at least 5 ounces of whiskey, probably. And I did drink it all. Thankfully, I live nearby. But as soon as I saw that pour, I was both very pleased and very concerned at the same time. I was like, yes, I'm going to have this amazing whiskey with my steak. That's a lot of whiskey. I'm only going to be here for an hour. Oh. And I immediately fell asleep when I got home almost. So, yeah. Oh. Uh-oh. I hope Dan is staying out of trouble. Oof. Well, you can taste the proof on this thing. I'll give it that. Louisville, Kentucky. Huh. Oh, it burns. The whiskey that made Kentucky whiskeys famous. It's a bold statement. I don't know if that's true. Established in 1860, Early Times is true American brand. The name itself is a tribute to the way whiskey was made in the early times of the country. As the 12th century arrived and distilling methods evolved to sophisticated operations, Early Times remained true to its roots as an old-style Kentucky bourbon. True to its roots as an old-style Kentucky bourbon. Okay. During the turbulent 1940s, Early Times proudly introduced bottle and bond bourbon to the satisfaction of the heroic, hard-working men and women of the era. 1940s. That was before World War II. Prohibition was 19... Did I tell you I have trouble remembering things? I did go to high school. I remember the history. I know a lot of things happened. Can I remember exact dates? No. I want to say the 1920s. Why do I want to say the 1920s? Tell me the things, Internet, that I cannot remember. Who's distracted easily? Wondering. I still have that song stuck in my head for anyone who's wondering. Oh, right. Oh, gosh, it was really that long? January 17th, 1920 to December 5th, 1933. 13 years? Seriously? That's awful. No wonder people were so happy that it was done. Good grief. Can you imagine? I can't. I am trying to, and it's not a thing that works. Imagine how people would have been if they didn't have alcohol during World War II. Oh my gosh. Early Times became America's top-selling bourbon. Today, Early Times Bottle and Bond Bourbon carries on the rich heritage of the Early Times legacy. That doesn't tell me anything. Daniel, welcome. Speak of the devil. Welcome to the gun show. Wait, no. There's no guns here. Like I said, we are sipping on some Early Times, looking up a little history, realizing that Prohibition lasted much longer than I thought it did. I did guess the right time frame. I said 1920s. That's about it. And we're talking about burgers and large pours of whiskey, which are glorious and dangerous. Ah. That's not a sweet bourbon to me. It's more oak and wood than anything. Still okay. I still like it. And I still have this song stuck in my head. That is going to be the theme of the evening. This song is stuck in my head and it won't get out. I listened to it before I started the stream and it still won't get out. Who actually makes Early Times? That's what I need to know at the moment. I do like that it told me the mash bill right out the bat. That was nice. 79% corn, 11% rye, and 10% malted barley. We've learned something new. Do we know much else? God, these pictures are trippy. Oh, it even has the notes. There's a word I don't know. The color of this whiskey, supposedly, is rich Sedona. I'm not sure what Sedona means. I'm not a smart man. Now let's look up the term Sedona. This is how my life is. How things work. If I don't know, I check. Sedona's a place. Red rock colored. Okay, good enough. Aroma, light caramel corn with hints of citrus, rind, honey, and soft oak. You could say that about a lot of bourbons out there. Flavor is soft caramel corn, milled with shortbread cookie. What? Coated with a hint of chocolate and oak. Trace of cinnamon spice lingers in the deep sweetness. And the finish, hints of caramel corn linger on. Caramel corn? I don't like caramel corns. Some people do. To me, they are absurdly sweet. Now, let's do the thing where we just keep it in our mouth for a minute. And also, to anyone who's just showing up, let me know what's in your glass. I'm always curious. Ouch. Dan, we found out you're a magician. Somehow. Spicy. Spicy tingly. And kind of chocolate, which is bizarre. The texture is nice. I have to say that. I haven't found a bottle and bond I don't like, but this one's freaking me out a little. It's not as wood forward as Evan Williams White Label. I don't have any, but that's one I often default to because of the price. It's nice to have a $15 bottle of bottle and bond whiskey. It's not the best. I definitely like Royal Turkey more, but you do. Although we do have money in the bank account for the moment, which is nice. So I can buy whiskeys. That must have sounded wonderful. Gulp. I heard that. What are you doing, New Year's? Oy. Still smells weird. See, now I'm getting curious. Tom Cruise a la cocktail. I really wonder what that tastes like. I think I showed this on the last stream. One of the more peculiar things I've ever gotten from the Whiskey Vault Patreon thing. Texas rainwater. It's pretty much impossible to open. I could probably open it, but a bit odd. Definitely not what I expected to get from them. I actually was hoping it was White Dog or what do you call it? White Lightning? Moonshine. There we go. But that would get them in trouble, and that's bad. We don't want that. We don't want that. I still want to go about killing these bottles that I have because I have a number of bottles that need to die. But like this one, sorry loud. It's pitiful. That's also about 8 ounces of whiskey-ish, give or take. Enough to floor me for quite a while. 43.2%. And this is one where I have to keep the bottle because I think they changed this. This is, trying to show the screen here. Powers Irish Whiskey, gold label. This is a liter of whiskey. But I think they changed the way the bottles look now, and they don't look better, if I'm remembering correctly. But that one needs to die. This one needs to die. I don't want to kill this one either. This is, of course, the illustrious Eleanor. But look at that. Not only is there not much left, but there's also the bulb in the bottom. So there's even less in there than I think there is. Although it's still quite a bit. But how much I can't tell because of that weird bulb thing. And there's one over here that I'm thinking of dumping just because I don't like it. I haven't yet, but it's really bad. This one of the worst bourbons I've ever had because it's pretty much, let's see exactly what it is, a blend of 20% Kentucky straight whiskey, 36 months old, and 80% neutral grain spirits. It does not taste good. I'm lucky I finished off this much of it. But I'm debating if I actually want to drink the rest or just dump it. Because it's not going to have improved by being in that air for that long. And I got it last Christmas. So hugga wugga. Yeah, 80% other, John. Just it's like it's got 20% real whiskey in it, and the rest is not whiskey. I don't know why my brother got me that, but I drank most of it. It's just, it's not good. I mean, even as someone who's dealt with graphic design, just this label itself hurts my brain to look at. The amount of font going on, the amount that's being said, the variety of colors they got going here, red, yellow, black. It hurts. And this is another one that's a liter. And we have this one. Again, it's like 1 or 2 pours and that's it. This one I was thinking of just dumping into some coffee. Because as we know, Irish coffees are a thing. And they're good. Oh, I still have that one down there. I have no room. I ran out of room. That's another problem. If you'll note, I have many samples scattered around. They can't actually see, but there are a bunch of samples here and a bunch of samples over there. I don't drink scotch enough, apparently. Hang on. This is another one that's kind of low. It's about there. It's a little less than half, but I like this one. Fire and Cane. It's actually really good. But I haven't been drinking it too much because it's gonna be gone. I don't know if they're making more of this, and since it's a experiment series number 4, I don't know if they go back and do it again, but I feel like they won't. We'll see. And they do have some bottles in there that aren't really great to taste. Yeah, that's the thing. It's a gift is a gift, John. But he also got me the bunch of other whiskeys that I don't know what I'm going to do with them other than maybe do a lineup, because I've done them all separately so far. And they're hiding. But there are videos I did of Cedar Ridge, Iowa bourbon whiskey. That's not focusing. The thing is, they've changed their percentages. So from what I'm seeing that they sell now, it's actually 43%, where most of these samples are 40%. And they have, I think there are 5 of them down there. Tiny, tiny little sample bottle things, but they were odd. My thought process at the time when I sampled them was these should be a little higher proof, because at 40% they just kind of fall flat. They're not really anything spectacular. And they could be. It could be something interesting. The malt stuff they're doing especially was kind of weird. I don't remember when I reviewed those, honestly, but they were good. They were just a bit off for me, or at least the malt was. I was hoping the rye would be good, if I remember correctly. This was ages ago, by the way. This is last year. Oh. Tonight's one of those nights where I want my palate to do something, but it's just going, it doesn't want to cooperate, I don't think. And part of that is just my state of mind. As we've discussed, the big thing about whiskey is your mood. There is having a drink at a wedding, and there's having a drink at a funeral. 2 very different things, and they're going to definitely affect how you perceive and taste the whiskey. And right now, this time of year has never been great for me, and I find I often default more to scotches. I almost poured myself, where is it? Is this one? This one. This is a Lagavulin 16. Isla SM. I don't know what that means. 86 proof. But I've had Lagavulin before, and I know I like it. And I've been considering doing a lineup of scotches, because I have so many. Like, if you'll notice, everything from here back is basically scotch. And I have one on the floor right now that needs a new place. I have the this one, the Glen Scotia 15, which was donated. I've heard good things. I know nothing about it. I can read the back. It's non-chill filtered. Campbelltown. It's always nice to know. 46%. That's another nice thing to know. Rich and smooth. But I'm thinking I'm going to try to do a review for Wednesday. Why I decided to pick Wednesday? It's the middle of the week. That's why. And I'd be reviewing this one, which I got this past Christmas, which is an Irish 10-year sherry cask finished. I have never seen it. I don't know anything about it. It's in a tin for some reason. I will show the color again. I also don't remember what I've talked about on streams before. That's the best part. It's like I'm learning all over again. There we go. Now, I don't know about you, but that looks a lot like a bourbon color to me. And it's an Irish, but it's been, sherry finished. So 10 years old as well. It's interesting. It's got all the fancy stuff on it. It looks very fancy. And it's got horse racing on it, which I don't know Why that is, I'm sure there's some kind of historical meaning. Hell, the word Tyraconnell. Tyraconnell? I don't know. Hello, Mom. Hello, people. People, this is Mom. Mom, this is people. Viewers. Oh, gosh. But the reason I'm opening and reviewing this one on Wednesday is because my dad wants to try it. And I can't do that until I open it. I'll give him a little sample. I don't even know where this came out of. That's what's bothering me. I mean, I know enough about Irish whiskey to know that it's kind of one big thing over there, or at least it was. I think it's splintering a little more. But when I think about all the Irish whiskeys I like, which are Redbreast and Green Spot, well, all the spots technically, but Green Spot in particular. So, did I say Red Spot or Redbreast? I meant Redbreast. But those are all kind of out of one thing, as are Tullamore Dew and who's the other one? The one that's more expensive. Why can't I remember anything? Ouch. Oh, there we go. Thank you, John. Hey, that's something. And that would explain why there's horse racing going on here. Tyraconnell. Whoops. Now I'm getting bothered by the fact that I can't remember what the other name of the thing is. My brain doesn't want to work right now. All right, hold on. There is an Irish whiskey out there. There's a lot about Irish whiskey I still don't know, other than the fact that they seem to be one big conglomeration, or three. Is it three? There's too much going on over there for me to keep track. But there's one I haven't had that I will have at some point, probably. But now I'm forgetting the name because I've never had it. I just know it's really expensive half the time. Google tells me if I just type in Irish whiskey. Well, it told me exactly what I thought it would. The ones that came to mind. Bushmills, Redbreast, Jameson. That's a lot of history. Wikipedia will tell me everything. It'll tell me everything in a very, very long, drawn-out manner. And I don't think anyone's here to watch me recite Wikipedia. Maybe you are, but we're not doing that right now. Where? Oh, this is bugging me. I can almost see the label. Show me pictures. Google, show me pictures. Here's Green Spot. There's Jameson. Connemara. Might have some of that. I haven't had a Connemara dram in quite a while. Oh, play at home game. Tullamore Dew. That's not the right one. What's the one that's expensive that I haven't tried? It's not Patty's. Richie Z, well, welcome. We're hanging out, drinking whiskey, trying to think. There we go. Middleton, thank you. That'll drive me bonkers. That's the one I haven't actually tried. Powers is one we were just talking about. But Middleton. No, it's Teeling. Method of Madness is the expensive stuff, but Teeling is the one I'm thinking of specifically that I've never actually tried. Method of Madness is the new stuff coming out of Jameson / Middleton, technically. That's where I get confused. There's the names of the distilleries and then the products they produce. And I haven't memorized any of that. I do like the history of Irish whiskey as far as some of it, like the old history. How they almost fell apart. And then the three big distillers came together and were like, well, we should team up instead of fighting each other. That might be a better idea. So the competition went away. And then Irish whiskey didn't vanish into the void. Dingle is another one. Sorry about the whistling, but if a song's stuck in my head, I can't get it out. That's very annoying to me. Tealing. That's the part that's eluding me right now, is my memory with trying to remember which distilleries produce which products. Because I know technically the same people that make Jameson make Redbreast or Green Spot. That much I know. And I think that's Middleton, but I'm not sure because I've never been there. And it doesn't usually tell you on the bottles, I don't think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd rather not have the earworm right now. I've listened to the song too, but it doesn't want to go away. Cooley. You think that'd be easy to remember? Thank you, Richard. Yeah, that's the part that gets me confused. Is when, at least with Irish whiskey, and this is why I don't tout any actual knowledge, because it's so confusing, especially in Ireland. But same thing with Scotland. The amount of glens that are in Scotland are just, I don't know. There's a lot of them. Glengloin, Glenfiddich, Glen something. What else? There's other glens. Glenrothes. I can't keep track of all that. My brain doesn't work that way. But it's the Irish one I'm thinking about now, where we have Middleton Distillery, and then they all produce different products. And there's more than one distillery. I know that much, but I know the Jameson one is pretty big. And I like a lot of what's coming out of there anyway. Like I said, this Powers bottle is very empty, but I haven't quite finished it off yet. I'm not going to do that tonight, but I might pour another one. I might pour a little in there after I finish this. This early time is pretty good, but it's not what I expected. It's not as sweet as bourbons that I'm used to. It's reminding me of the Knob Creek pick that it's Bourbonite did. Although that's certainly stronger. This is only 50%. Yeah, and that's 60. Yeah, definitely more oak forward. It's freaking me out. And it's reminding me of Evan Williams' Bottled Bond. Unsurprisingly. I would say it's a little better. But also, I don't know how much this costs. I didn't look at the price. That's what I forgot. Oh, $25? Sure. Wanda, welcome back. We learned a little about early times. We learned a little about Irish whiskey. And if you haven't, here's what I learned. This is how I learn anything. Usually if there's a story or a podcast or something. And I will come here. If you have Spotify, dang it, there is something I would recommend you listen to if you have any interest in Irish whiskey history, because this is the only thing I listened to, and it was, enough to keep it in mind, but also, it didn't tell me a lot about the distilleries nowadays, which is the problem at the moment, anyway. And I gotta find it. Don't listen to it now. We still have about an hour and 10 minutes. No, about an hour. I try to stop just before anyone else goes live, and I know it's Bourbon Night will be going live soon. That's not it. A Story of Irish Whiskey on Spotify. It looks like there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that's not it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 7? There's a few of them. I think I listened to them all. Yeah, some I don't remember listening to. Yeah, my watch just did a thing. But anyway, if you have Spotify, give The Story of Irish Whiskey a listen. It is a nice little... It harkens back onto the story of how Irish whiskey almost completely disappeared. And it's done in an entertaining and I don't want to call it theatrical way, but they definitely have characters that are played through the whole storytelling bit. Like the three head honchos who decided to team up together and save the Irish whiskey world and not let it go to ruin. I've been a little curious about Scottish whiskey stuff lately too, where they didn't have that kind of collapse, but I know they were kind of amoral, I think is the word. When Prohibition came around, the Scotch was like, oh, sure, we'll give the Americans whiskey, Irish whiskey. We'll give them whiskey. And Ireland was thinking, no, we can't do that. It's illegal. I still can't believe the fact that freaking Prohibition was 13 years. That seems so wrong. It's a lifetime almost. 13 years of Prohibition. But then again, if I think about medical cannabis, or cannabis, not even medical cannabis products have been illegal for a very long time. I'm not even sure how long. Longer than 13 years. And I don't even know when they officially went illegal, technically, and got labeled as type 3 narcotic. I don't know. I don't know if that's still a thing. I don't keep track. It's a lot of political mumbo jumbo. It hurts my head to listen to. So I don't. I just know I have a medical card, and that's fine. Which I have to renew this year, supposedly. I would smoke on stream, too, except I don't know what that does to YouTube. YouTube's very sketchy about smoking things on screen, last I heard. Wasn't that... That was a tax thing, wasn't it? Unmalted barley, because malted barley was taxed, or is it the other way around? I feel like that's a thing. I know the Irish and the British have a bit of history. And I have this weird memory about them taxing a certain way of them doing things. And they're like, fine, we just won't malt the barley. So there. You can't tax us for it. Yes. The joys of the industry. There's always taxes somehow. I don't know why, but there are. Somehow they get involved every single time. Oh, the song's driving me bonkers. New Year's Eve was days ago. We're on day 3. I had to check. Day 3 of New Year. It's driving me nuts that this song was stuck in my head. I watched it day of. I can't play it on the channel. Well, technically I can. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are there. Can I play a song on a stream that's on YouTube? I feel like I can, but depends if that song's been monetized. Yeah. I don't think I've gotten flagged for anything like that yet. Because my singing doesn't sound quite good enough, thankfully. Not yet, anyway. What are you doing? New Year's Eve. What are you doing? New Year's Eve. Why is that song stuck in my head? Ugh. Whatever. Well, this is a weird thing. The weird thing about starting a new year is suddenly you have to think about like the next. That's going to be the worst part for everyone. I don't know who, I don't know people's schedules really, but I know most of us, not me, are going back to work for the first time tomorrow. Because I know when I worked at a factory, usually they'd give us Christmas off up to New Year's. And now we finished New Year's, the weekend's over, We're going into the actual year finally. We don't know what's going to happen. It's been a wonky, like last year is still, the shadow of last year is still looming over my mind right now just because of how things are in general. Like, 2021 didn't bring with it suddenly making everything bad in 2020 go away. Everything's still kind of here as is, but we're kind of used to it at this point, which is the scary part. Very rarely do I ever walk outside without a mask anymore. I just my default is putting a mask on anywhere I go because it doesn't matter. I need to have a mask on no matter what. Oh, the song stuck in my head still. I was going to eat some of these, but I realized what a terrible idea that would be. Also donated by Richie Z. And there were also these. Yeah, that's going to be a thing for a couple weeks at least. People like 2020, shit, 2021. Some Pop Rocks as well. Glorious. Sugar, sugar, sugar. Speaking of sugar, I want to see what some of this bourbon will be like with the Texas Whiskey Trail. Given to me by my mother, technically because they were given to my dad, but he can't eat them. Because alcohol, mostly. No, let me tell you exactly what these are. They were. Bag Dog. Is that his Instagram thing? I forget. Stanley Wagner Jr. is what I used to see all the time. But I know he's doing stuff on Instagram nowadays. Let's see. These are going to be two of them. They got, there we here. Day 7 and 8, technically. 7 and 8. Ironwood Republic and Lone Elm. Harbinger XC Straight Bourbon Whiskey and 4-year small batch Texas Straight Wheat Whiskey. Very interesting. Oh, don't do it, Barn Door. I tried some of them last night. And nothing pairs with that. Like that level of sugary sourness. I felt it. I felt it in my mouth. I felt that almost to the point where it's damaging the inside of your mouth kind of feeling. It didn't, but it kind of got that far almost. Brushing my teeth was interesting last night. I also have these. I'm a little sad about these because I seem to recall Swedish Fish tasting a different way. They don't taste quite the same anymore. These are different flavors, I'm told. 2 flavors in one. To me, they were always red. It's a lot of sugar, though, and a lot of it is just corn syrup. And the scary part to me is I don't know what I used to eat as a kid. I don't know what Swedish Fish were made of when I was younger. I have no idea. I assumed they were made out of something other than corn syrup, but no, Barn Door, no. You probably just got a lot of conflicting feelings there, I bet. Chocolates filled with whiskey are a glorious thing. I warn you, Barn Door. Excuse me. I had some Sour Patch Kids last night, and it was not. I didn't drink anything, but my mouth felt weird. Was not a fan. Whiskey and chocolate, on the other hand, we'll see. There's one of the things I haven't asked the group consciousness here is what are people watching these days? Because I have access to. I don't have anything. My parents are the one who pays for all the streaming services we have. Thank you. But we have Netflix, Disney Plus. What's the other one? NBC? No, NHC? NBC? Star Trek. CBN? ABC? CBS. There we go. Nailed it. Nice stopping by, Mom. I'll see you later. Whoops. Yeah, Whiskey 2 live streams. I too watch those. But I've been watching a lot of Netflix recently. Other than having watched probably every single Star Trek thing there is twice last year. As you can tell, I like the Star Trek. And, live long and prosper at the end of most of my videos. That's pretty much a giveaway. And, of course, there's this guy behind me. You probably can't see at the moment. Up there, it's a signed thing by Spock. Or by Leonard Nimoy, I should say. Autographed and everything. It's official. It's very fancy. I got that many years ago. Ow. But DVDs, what are those? No. I should watch some of my DVDs, to be honest. I just don't have a TV or DVD setup that works right now. Oh, that chocolate's really good. Oh. Now, as I was worried, that was already a pretty oak forward and not sweet bourbon. And with all the sugar chocolate in my mouth, taking a sip of it, it was just even worse. Even more bitter and oak forward and wood-like. I've been watching something called Stargate, or SG-1, which I remember watching distinctly when I was living at my parents' house. I think we had it on DVD. I think. But that is probably one of the more bizarre sci-fi series I've seen, and it's so 90s. So 90s. And the best part is often seeing people who are on Star Trek, or at least on The Next Generation, in that series as well, like special guests and such. It's a bit weird, but I like it. But the funny thing that I can't get over seeing is we have these high-tech military installations, and they've got those big-ass monitors. Remember those? They weighed, 10 to 15 pounds. They're very funny. It's very funny to watch that series with that kind of... Yeah, MacGyver in space. In space. Yes. Barn Door, we appreciate your sacrifice. Just because of what Sour Patch Kids are, I would definitely not recommend eating them and sipping on anything, because the candy is sweet, but that stuff that's on top of it is really the killer. I'm not even sure what is on top of it. I'm looking at the ingredients and it doesn't really say. Other than sugar and corn syrup. Oh, wait. Tartaric acid. Citric acid. That's probably what it is, whatever those things are. Don't do it. It's a trap. God damn this song. What I do want to try in the future is try and get a couple of bottles of this stuff. Compass Box. I still feel bad about the Spice Tree review, or lack of Spice Tree review, because that was really good. I don't know. I was wondering that myself. Sugar, invert sugar, corn syrup, modifying cornstarch, contains less than 2% of tartaric acid, citric acid, natural and artificial flavors. I don't know why they get away with saying natural and artificial flavors, because that doesn't really mean anything. Red 40, yellow 5, and blue 1. Store in a cool, dry place. Made in Canada. I don't care where it's been made. There you go. In space, no one can hear you scream. It's true. I remember the old Alien movie. That was good stuff. Sigourney Weaver? Why can I remember that? I don't even know if that's the right name. That was just the first one that came to mind. And also the guy who got ripped in half. Spoilers. Was that her? I can't remember. Oh, I'll show people since I was talking about medical cannabis earlier, and it's something I can use and should use, to be honest, because of my mental health being really bad. I feel like I should have a disclaimer. May talk about mental health problems while sipping whiskey. Do not be alarmed. Everything is fine, sort of. I have this thing. This interesting little device cost me $300, which I didn't have. But I got it. The cannabis goes in the bottom. Is there any here? Nope, not. No. Oh, there we go. Dictionary definition here. That's just confusing. Youngest Sigourney. Okay, good. I was questioning my brain for a minute there. I said the instant, we talked about aliens. I'm like, Sigourney Weaver. And I can't even remember exactly who that is. That was just the first thing that came to my mind. Come on, chair. There we go. We have our E.H. Taylor bottle prominently displayed. I should probably put it in the back, to be honest, because it's very tall. Whatever. We have bottles to kill. I'm not going to do it tonight, but it's something to do. Ah. Oh, looks like a pistol mag. I'm confused. What are we talking about? Liquid sweetness. Whoa. Whoa. The things that we've come up with to eat and drink. I'm happy about the drinking products. Cheers to that. How we ever came up with the concept of whiskey was pretty much by accident / because of perfume, as far as I understand it. Something about copper stills. Oh. But I have to admit, my interest in whiskey is just the obscurity of how we came across making it. Because every time I hear about the process, and most of you know what the process is, I'm looking forward to it, Richie Z. That was also a donation, so I technically have to do an official review at some point with my expert nosing and tasting techniques. As in, I'll try to describe it, but as I've said earlier, my mental state tends to have an effect on how I experience things, unfortunately. But I can still tell you, the basics, sweet and bitter and that kind of thing. I'm fairly sure I had a much better palate when I was younger, and as soon as I hit 40, everything just kind of went blah. And of course, the crippling depression. Let's not forget that. That doesn't help. Doesn't. Thus, the medical cannabis should be used. God damn this song. Ooh. Let's not forget this guy. I was thinking of pouring one of these, and I might. Not this, but I have another sample over here since we have about another 40 minutes or so. Oh, there's trouble. I do have a Blanton somewhere over here. I can't find it. Ow. I don't know if that made a noise. The Trev Wilson is here. Trev, send all your subscribers this way. You have 1,000 now. You can share. I still think, how many different YouTube channels or whiskey tube channels hit 1,000 today? There's Trev, Hot Butter Rolls, and Shayla. She hit 2,000. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the trick is. I haven't figured it out. I don't even know if there is a trick. I hope not. Usually it's just, do people want to hang out? Oh. And the ability. Like if I could do giveaways and stuff, that would help. But I have very little energy, we'll say. If people only knew how little energy I have, streaming is going to cost me most of it today. Other than going out and getting food. I did that as well. My hope is that I will have more energy later this year when things tend to improve in the world, but right now we're just coasting along with survival at the moment. And whiskey. Very important. Got to have the whiskey. Keeps me motivated to looking forward to something, as I like to put it. Jeez. Whiskey quests. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Trev, always a pleasure. Glad to see you. Keeping everyone in check. The evil eye of Trev. I don't think that's a thing. I forgot what I was talking about. Blanton's? There we go. This supposedly is a sample of Blanton's because it has a bee on it. And as with my official mini review from last month, Blanton's was nice, but it wasn't anything that blew me away. We'll see. It's a perfectly good bourbon for a lot less. In my mind, bourbon shouldn't cost more than $50. But as I said, with many of the whiskey tubers, they have money and jobs and such. As I mentioned earlier, they have funds. They have the ability to buy more things. I don't have that, to be blunt. As I have said on a few streams, I have not worked in 10 years-ish, which makes it sounds like such a good thing. People can only wonder how much fun you had while not working. You can't have a lot of fun if you don't have any money. It sucks. I don't think it will. Maybe. It's about the right size. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't. The problem is actually getting this tape stuff off of it. And I'm trying to remember who gave me these. That's the worst feeling in the world, is when I got donations and I'm starting to forget which one is which. I think these were JJ, but I'm not sure. I think these are the ones. I think so. It might. So this is like a mini holy hand grenade, as we've mentioned before. That's why everyone gets the Blantons, just because the Blantons get a lot of talk, mostly because of the way they look, I think. And really, I kind of like them, but I also kind of don't. Because when you have this kind of bottle and this kind of setup, for me anyway, it's, where are you going to put actual full-size bottle of these? They'll be hard to be placed, really. At least in my world. Yes, JJ, you did. Good. Whew. I figured you did, but again, I got a whole bunch of samples recently, and it's hard to keep track at this point, which is a lovely problem to have, I might add. And I think that was one of the last ones, that you sent. Sorry to look away from the camera, but I think there might have been another one. Oh, here we go. That's right. You sent the Weller single barrel, too. Ones with the white. Which I haven't tried, because Weller is another big name brand. Everyone goes kind of bonkers for it for some reason. Oh, I don't deny it, Richie. I had that sample of this, and I did finally do my review. I think I had it on the I did it on a bad day. I know that. I did it on the day, I think, a year since my cat had been put to sleep, unfortunately. So I wasn't in the best mindset, but I was still looking forward to it. The idea was, it was a dreadful day, let me try this very fancy, we'll talk about whiskey. And it worked. I mean, it's a good bourbon, I admit, but we all know, or most of us know, I won't say we all know, there is a lot of sketchy weirdness with the prices of it and that need for people to have all the bottles. Something I cannot do, as we were talking about. There's no way. There's no way. I can't afford it. As I've also talked on other streams, most of these whiskeys back here were bought with credit cards when I was going through what is called a manic phase, where the idea of worrying about consequences kind of just goes away. You don't really have that thought. The idea of having to pay off the debt and not having the money to do it isn't something you're worried about in the moment. It's just something you'll deal with later. Sort of, maybe, kind of. And I have been. We are very much in debt. For, how much is it now? I think it's $17,000, which doesn't sound like much, I'm sure, but when you're unemployed and don't have an income, it's a lot, unfortunately. Thus, the trying to get to 1,000 subscribers and at least getting to the super chat thing, that would be convenient, as Trev knows. But I think there's also the time watched thing as well. It's bonkers. I don't like the hurdles YouTube puts in front of you to get funding, but I know why they are there. But they really don't have to be. I mean, YouTube and Google has plenty of money. They just don't want to make it easy for some reason. Then they'd have to worry about lots of people getting lots of money. Instead, there's things like GoFundMe and OnlyFans. Not to say anything bad about OnlyFans. It's definitely a good idea for some, not me. And GoFundMes usually are something that only are temporary. Like, people pay attention to it for a little while, and then the funds just run out because you've reached your kind of limit of social media influence, I think, which is unfortunate. But it's the way of the world at the moment, whether we like it or not. And as I've talked about numerous times, I've often thought about how maybe the idea of working your whole life away isn't the best way to live, but it's just the one we've kind of been put in front of us. It does sound interesting, doesn't it? I think they have one on cast strength. Pretty sure they do. I have a feeling if anyone did have one, it would be Rock Gut Review. Just him with his, taking his shirt off. That seems about right. But he does that on YouTube, so maybe not. I don't know. The song's still stuck in my head. It's been an hour. Come on. Well, I want to finish this whiskey. I wanted to pour something else. I hadn't decided on what, though. Being indecisive and distracted. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'd buy a bottle of Early Times. Granted, I haven't seen it around, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a little more oak forward and wood notes instead of the sweet bourbon kind of thing that I seem to like. So it's not bad by any means, but for $25, I could buy a Wild Turkey 101. To be abundantly clear, I could buy my favorite bourbon instead of one that's just okay and a lot more wood note forward oaky stuff. So there you go. That's our official review of Early Times, sort of, if you want to call it a review. Sample Sunday, just an excuse to drink samples. Wow. See, my brain interprets it a certain way, but trying to get it out. It's also, proof isn't too bad, but woo. I still have this song stuck in my head. It's driving me bonkers. I don't know how I got stuck in there tonight. And it's the duet version by those two kids. Those dang kids. Hang on, I gotta find their names. Because people knew who they are. I don't. Zoe Dietrich and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. They did a cover of What Are You Doing New Year's Eve? And it is stuck in my head. And it has been for over an hour. Don't know why. It's a nice little song. I even listened to L.L. Fitzgerald's version of it, which is, of course, glorious. But what do I have to say about that? Ouch. You know what I want to do? I'm thinking about it at the moment. In this second, I am thinking about trying to get my hands on more Texas whiskeys. Because I've only had technically one, I think, bottle of Iron Root, which I got 2 years ago, probably. And then I think, and I'm probably wrong, but I think Andalusia has been looking into getting stuff into Total Wine, I think. But that might just be in Texas. I'm not certain. No, don't make me think of that song. That's even worse. I'd rather have New Year's Eve stuck in my head. But now you put it in my mind, and it's starting to creep in there. I don't want it. No. Think of something else. I'd rather have this song stuck in my head. What are you doing? New Year's Eve. I don't even remember when that song came out. Baby Shark, that is. Nor how it spread. But I know it is a cursed song. It is cursed. I think I just have songs fighting in my mind now. Balcones single malt. Wait a minute. I do have this. I forgot. Balcones Baby Blue. I've heard mixed results or mixed reviews on this one. A corn whiskey. And I had, what was it? I had the Balcones Rye. That was weird. That was very weird, actually. I've never had a rye quite like that. Balcones is doing funky stuff. Funky, weird, amazing stuff. Some of it's really good. Some of it's really weird. I think it was the tequila finished Balcones that I really liked. I don't know if I've had a single malt from them, though, now that I'm mulling it over. And I know I like Iron Root stuff, or at least the one bottle I have, the Harbinger was good. And I've had a couple of different samples from Iron Root, which I've usually done during a stream. One of them was Icarus, I want to say. That was pretty good. That was a peated, smoky kind of weirdness, which I digged. I enjoyed is the word I want to use. Watch this come apart. All right. Since JJ is here somewhere, I think, and since this is a fancy night with fancy things and fancy people, you're all fancy people, so I'm pouring you / me some Balcones, which is a sample here. If I can open it. There's the key phrase in there. This is exciting. I know, this is quality content. That's the fun part about doing YouTube. It's about content, whatever that is. I think I mentioned it last time that the weirdest thing about YouTube is it's kind of seeing what people will do to get other people's attention. And for me, I'm usually just trying to do a hangout, chill kind of thing. maybe talk about whiskey a little, which I think we did some earlier. But for the most part, it's just something to pass the time and enjoy each other's company, rather than me trying to bombard you with my amazing skills at drinking whiskey / tasting notes / that kind of thing. Ah, yes, that's the safer bet, technically. You got to go one or the other. It's just safer that way. I do carry around a Swiss Army knife, which is kind of like a baby knife. I kind of was 14. They've been around that long finally? Ay, ay, ay. Oh. I don't know what this stuff is made of, but it's weird. JJ, this stuff's weird. Comes off in a weird way. But we will have it. And again, for anyone wondering, this is Blanton's. There we go. We were talking about Balcones, and I got very confused. This is definitely Balcones. I mean, Blanton's. I mean, what year is it? It's one of the few times you can actually get confused about what year it is. Might as well. Look at this. This thing's weird. It's all frilly. It's coming off, though. There we go. Oh, we have a queen. Look out. Look out. It's funny, that picture looks familiar. I don't know why. Will there be problems later on? Do I need to be there just to watch the chaos happen? I like that Carrie makes mixed drinks, but she also gets... it doesn't take much for her, it seems. Like one drink, and although I know that feeling sometimes. So here we go. Officially drinking the blends. Because I want to. And again, sample Sunday. Because I made that a thing for the moment. Lovely. That's the other problem. I've noticed one thing that I don't have that other Whiskey Tube channels do is more than one person. So I can't have anyone else to talk to here other than these two lovely gentlemen, but they're not going to answer. The French oak. I remember I had a sample of the French oak, and it was very good per my tastes. Ah, here we go. JJ, thank you. Dumped on 5/15/19. Oh, yeah. It's a little fruitier than the early times, at least to me, compared to what I just drank. And also, I did have 2 chocolates loaded with whiskey. Let's not forget. Hydration is key, by the way. Always make sure you have water when drinking whiskey, or you will be in full of regret. I wish Blanton's wasn't such a status symbol in some regard. But for the people who liked hunting their bourbons, I can understand it. I don't have anything like that to my mind, mostly because I don't have the space, and I'm at that age where I don't need more stuff. I really don't. Even getting more whiskey right now is getting to be a problem because I am running out of room, and I'm not about to get anything bigger than this little corner table. So I'm going to have to start drinking these bottles. As we said, we have 4 bottles here that need to be killed. Bottle kill / battle down. I've taken a chunk out of this one already. Glorious stuff. And it doesn't help that I have this guy sitting back here. Evan Williams, giant freaking bottle of it, but it's the black instead of the bottled and bond, which I don't like as much. It's okay. It's not great. 43% at least. That's pretty much taking up the spot of 2 bottles. It'll cause some trouble. Now this smells like a sweet bourbon. Unlike the other one. It smelled sweet, but it didn't taste sweet. Lovely. It's perfectly approachable. Lovely little bourbon. Nothing crazy about it. And I know I can get a bottle of Blanton's if I want to spend $100 on it, which I don't, because I mentioned in Hot Buttery Roll stream last night. Wow, I don't remember anything. Recently, was I always equate the prices of whiskeys to the amount I could buy Wild Turkey 101. So a regular bottle of Wild Turkey 101 in my neck of the woods is $25. So if there's a bottle of something out there that costs $50, that would be 2 bottles of Wild Turkey 101, which I would probably rather have than a bottle of something that was $50, except for Redbreast 12. Redbreast 12 is $50 in my neck of the woods. That's the only thing I think, other than I have a weakness for higher proof Irish stuff, and I know Redbreast 12 cask strength, as I've said on this channel many times, is my jam, but that is probably $70. I wish it wasn't, but again, in this case, it's not taxes, it's tariffs, I believe. That is the current dilemma of things in the world for whiskey. Irish and Scottish stuff, there's a tariff thing going on. I don't know why. It has something to do with large containers. I don't know. I heard a little bit about it. It was mildly interesting. It hurt my head. Ugh. I'm moving around and it hurts. Ugh, there we go. I only hope I'm going to be able to make it to Destination Bourbon stream at this point to see their interesting time that they have. And again, that's another, it's like 2 couples streams in a row. So it's going to be It's Bourbon Night, and then it's going to be Destination Bourbon. Troublemakers, both of them. I have yet to meet that girl who likes whiskey as much as I do, so it's definitely not going to happen anytime soon. Let's be clear. 2020 has proven that. And I was talking with people on Discord earlier. It's like, I haven't been in a relationship in 10 years, so I don't even know what you're supposed to do anymore as far as normal human mating rituals. I don't know what those are. This has something to do with your cell phone. There are apps. I don't understand. Song still stuck in my head. Lovely. I have to say, Blanton smells really good. Just the right amount of spice, too. I hope you can hear that. That's the crazy lady next door. I think she's put a animal cage of some sort in this corner behind me. It's a little crazy. As I mentioned on other streams, she is nuts. Well, that's fine. There's no reason for me to remember that, thankfully. The spices on this Blanton's are nice. They linger. I dig it, as I've been saying. Why is my... I don't know what's going on. Oh, it's a little better. I'm tempted to have these. I wanted to do an experiment, much like the Sour Patch experiment, but not as bad. Is what is whiskey like if you add Pop Rocks? Like if I put some of these in my mouth and have a sip of whiskey, I'm curious, only mildly curious. And these are Blue Raz, and apparently Pop Rocks are made in Spain. It's good to know. More corn syrup, god damn it. Oh, Jason Busey's living the dream. You get to have all the fun, which is a good thing. I should take a hot shower. I thought you were going to say a hot, like hot tub, because I don't remember the last time I sat in a hot tub. Not only because of this past year being absolute insanity, and hot tubs not really being a socially distant thing, but simply I don't remember the last time I've had access to one. So, I do like them. They're good for your back. And again, Jason Busey, we were talking about Pop Rocks for no apparent reason. And we also found out that Sour Patch Kids do not pair well with whiskey, so don't do it. Troublemakers, all of you. All of you are troublemakers. Don't make Trev come in here. He'll encourage your behavior, I'm sure. Guys, when did you get a didgeridoo? Last thing I remember hearing was you have a giant puppy. Julio is officially one of the guys. One of the boys? One of the dudes? The dude bro? Whatever. We're all wonderful people here. Whatever you consider yourself to be, it's fine. Well, don't cause any trouble, it's fine. That song's still stuck in my head. I don't even know how to imitate the noise those things make. Ah! I didn't do anything, Julia. I don't know what's going on. I'm barely keeping up with the conversation. I'm getting half distracted by whiskey, half distracted by Pop Rocks. Oh, I said I will. I'll ask him whenever the heck I happen to catch him on stream again. Ooh. I don't have any good rum. The only rum I have is it's not even over here. I put it back. It's like white. I should honestly dump that rum. Now that I think about it, I tried it and it tasted like vanilla grossness. If you like pina coladas. Ah, crap, now it's stuck in my head. I'm getting caught in the rain. Oh, it's endless. For the record, this is my Sunday night outing as well, because this is me going out nowhere and having all these lovely people here. So I appreciate that all of you here are spending time with me and just hanging out, sipping whiskey, having lunch, dinner, whatever time it is. I don't know. Joking around. It's always nice to see people who know people in chat. That makes things easier. Yeah, the KIllco bar. whatever that is. Certainly not like a VPub. I don't have that kind of energy. I don't know how Roy does that stuff, but he does. Gosh, if I had to do quizzes, I don't even know what they would be. It'd be weird random questions about Rhode Island, probably, or like what we were talking about earlier, random questions about Ireland. That's kind of how my VPubs works. It's like I suddenly think of something I'm curious about and check Google because I don't know, and other people might know on the stream. That helps. Like talking about Middleton or Teeling, whatever the heck the answer was to the question I had in my head an hour ago. Song's still in my head. Uh-oh. So I don't know if that's ever been a good thing, calling a woman one of the boys if they don't want to be. You're just one of us. It's fine. It's like, is it? I hope so. I'm one of the people. I'm one of the type of person who's like, all people are people, and it's fine with me. I'm not gonna assign what are they called, gender norms to anyone. I've tried never to do that. It happens, certainly. If I see a young lady walking down the street in a pink dress, they have very feminine attributes, to say the least. I have to say I'm definitely enjoying these plans. But again, I don't get it. I don't get how it became such a big deal. I'm sure Daniel from Whiskey Vault knows, but I have no idea. I have no idea. I can't think of it. Let's see what Google tells me. Why is Blanton's expensive? Tell me, oh internet. I'm still on the pictures. That's not gonna help. That's what I thought. Well, there you go. One reason why Blanton's costs more than other whiskeys of its class is simply because it has been marketed as something of a luxury brand of bourbon. It might also be more exciting for you to drink these single barrel bourbons as you never quite know what to expect. I mean, yes and no. Single barrels in my head usually have to be a pick that I am at least mildly comfortable with. But I've heard different kind of mixed stories with Blanton's. Like this one's perfectly fine, but again, I don't know all the details about it. JJ does. It's a lovely dram. I don't think it's very high proof. But then again, I forget what Blanton's is. That's what it tells me. Tell me, oh little bottle. Oh yeah, 46 and a half. I forgot. It doesn't say 46.5. It says 46 and 1/2. I don't think it'll show on the video stream here. Let's see. 46.5%. Isn't that weird? I always see 0.5. So seeing an actual weirds me out. That wouldn't surprise me. That has happened numerous times in human history where someone's like, this thing is amazing and I only have so many. Hurry and get it now before it's too late. That's the epitaph beginnings of how marketing and sales works, I suppose. I mean, really, it's just a lot of it has to do with the product itself, like what it's in. We have to admit that since it comes in this round little holy hand grenade type bottle with this little horsey on top, people want it just because of that. And what's in it becomes kind of the secondary thing, which is a little weird. I understand it. It's marketing, it's design, it's the way people are, it's the way to get people to buy stuff, but it's still weird. Enjoy your supper, Jason. I'll be going to It's Bourbon Night soon, and then we have Destination, oh gosh, later. Always a pleasure to see you, sir. What the heck? My Fitbit is telling me things like my heart rate's really high for some reason. The pressure there. And my phone, my battery is getting low. My Fitbit. What is that? Oh, the horsey. Little horsey. It's all about the horsey. In Kentucky, at least. I know one of the weird little quirks about my neck of the woods, if anyone's curious, which I'm sure you all are, since you're here, is that there's actually, I think it's polo that actually occurs around here. Let me double check. Yeah, Newport polo. If anyone knows what that is, I assume people know, but it's also a very weird sport. If you've ever seen it, and people dress up, get all fancified, almost like the Kentucky Derby kind of attire, with the weird little hats and the. It's a little bizarre, but there is something called Newport Polo here, and there's actually a polo place where they ride horses and they have a mallet, I think, and they hit a ball. I have to double check because I don't even remember if polo is what I think it is. The song is still in my head. If anyone's wondering, it's still there. Yeah, that's definitely it. They have these long hammer-looking things, and they smack this ball that's on the ground while riding horses. Seems extremely dangerous to me. Because if you could fall off that thing, you break your neck. It probably would. I mean, granted, my opinion of the South has no bearings since I live in the North. I'm a Yankee, as they call me. Or they would call me, I suppose. I don't know. It's a very weird sport. If you've ever been curious, look up horse polo. It's bizarre. I know water polo is a thing, but I don't know why. I don't know why that came to mind first. It's fancy. Well, there hasn't been any polo in the past year, of course, so that's unfortunate. But I do have the memory of knowing that polo stuff is going on and finding ways to get into the polo area without paying for a ticket, technically. Maybe. Possibly. Could have been a dream. This could be a total lie. I don't remember. But it is a very fancified event. I don't know if they have whiskey, though. I don't remember if they have bourbon. I feel like they should. But, again, I haven't been to one in over a year. And I haven't ever actually officially gone, technically. And it's always weird stuff. Like, I'm looking at some of the dates here. It looks like they're going for June. USA versus Switzerland. USA versus Argentina. Then we have weird ones like Newport versus Boston. That's absurd. Unexpected. They're big. Those are big hammers. They're, by the look of it, they're at least they're probably this long. Not that you can tell what this length is, but it's pretty long. Again, we're talking about hitting something on top of a horse. So it's pretty long hammer type thing. It's hammer time. Dun, 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 dun. I'm dating myself. Everybody. No, wait. That's a different song. Oh, that's stuck in my head now. Cool. It's an idea. They do have funny uniforms, though. You're kind of getting into jousting at that point, though. If it's just give them hammers and have them on horses and last man standing, it's technically jousting / something else. Damn it, now that song's stuck in my head. Well, I can get lessons. How much does that cost? I would like polo lessons. Tell me how. Oh, we're almost there. I'll say 5 more minutes of this stream, and then we can all head over to It's Bourbon Night, or to have dinner, or to take a shower, or to do whatever we want to do with the evening. As always, Whiskey Tube for the evening for me is technically just It's Bourbon Night, and then Destination Bourbon if I'm functional by then. I have a feeling most of you know about that one at least. And It's Bourbon Night, clearly. I mean, it's a pretty big channel. From what I know, they got definitely more subscribers than I do. That's not hard to do, though. But I did notice, and I didn't want to celebrate this officially, but when I looked last, I had 225 subscribers. So, hey, that's always good. Probably do it again when I'll do a celebration thing when we get to 250. I try to do 50 markers until it gets really crazy. If I ever get to the point where I can't keep up, that'll be the day. I would say if you can, I think I said this in the video I did too, but if you can get Blanton's at retail, which I think is $60, I would say go ahead. But as far as seeing it marked up anything over that, I don't think it's worth it. It's good. It's very good. It's very nice. But because of all the flim flam that goes with it, meh. I'm also remembering I need to eat something. I've had 2 whiskeys, and I haven't actually eaten since 2 p.m., and it's now 8, almost 8. Please drink responsibly. Ugh. That's the thought of the moment. Because what have I done? Lord God. A few more drops, I'll put it in the glass. It's fine. Well, somehow we ended the night getting that song out of my head. But instead of New Year's Eve, we have Everybody Dance Now stuck in my brain somehow. I'm not even sure how we did that. Middle school dance party going on in my brain right now. I mean, you're still not sure. You don't know what the outfit looks like. It's kind of like, I guess it kind of looks like a horse jockey outfit, sort of. Like a Kentucky Derby. Except they're riding around with mallets. I think they have better headgear. That's right, CNC Music Factory. I'm fairly certain that same topic came up last night on Hot Buttery Rolls' channel. And I saved that song and listened to it yesterday, which is why it's still fresh. And also, I do remember listening to that song at middle school dance parties. We are coming up on 5 of for this stream. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I hope you will tune in this Friday at 6 p.m. I will be here again. And I will be here next Sunday at 6 p.m. I'm trying to do that other thing. I haven't decided if I want to do more streaming or less streaming or whatever. I'll try to get a video out this Wednesday, hopefully, with the not the Glen Scotia, this one, this Irish. So once more, until next time, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome. I forget I have to do this other hand. And sláinte to all of you. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate all of you. We'll see you all on other streams. And yeah, have a good night.